Hey guys, we're back. I realized that I have neglected this playthrough for a while now, but now that we have become a mage, I'm level 3 mage, and I'm actually very close to becoming level 4, which is a good thing. I think we might as well continue. Now we have a lot of quests, I suppose. Let's take a look. Actually, we don't have many, but our most important one is probably to free Angiar from his debt contract and return it to him and his wife. The reason why this one is really good is because this guy, he has a secret. He can tell you how to find Pharod. I think he's the only one who can tell you specifically how to find your way to Pharod past the Rag Picker's Square, and he has very good information about that. But then again, before we find Pharod, I might actually want to yeah, let's just leave this place. Actually, before you go, now that we're here, there's this guy here called, we're gonna forget about Ratbone for now. I'm not gonna deal with him too much, but the Sharegrave is right inside here. You can see there, yeah, Sharegrave Skip, he's right inside. All these other houses are not really very important. We can easily just pick them up later. Alright, let's go talk to this Sharegrave guy. Now he's a little bit violent. He's actually quite dangerous. You do not want to anger him or do something negative. And eventually he has this really weird quests. I'm actually gonna let you read this for you. Yeah. Tall and lanky, this pale, grim-looking man exudes authority despite his gangly and somewhat awkward frame. A good portion of his left ear is missing. Clearly he's the kind of dangerous, thievish kind of person. Yeah. His narrow shifting eyes, almost mere slits, looks clever and dangerous. You must be Sharegrave. Yeah, I mean, this guy is absolutely detestable. Look at this guy, the way he speaks. I don't know you, Burke. Who are you to be asking him about some Sharegrave cutter? I'm gonna tell him about Pox, because Pox is the guy who actually referred me to him. If you remember Pox, he's the one who we found right outside the mortuary. As soon as we left the mortuary, this is the guy with the rash, the purple rash on his neck, and with a weird little girl voice. Yeah, he's the creepy guy. So what a funny thing to be asking. What do you know about old Pharod for? Well, he stole something from me. I'm actually gonna try to relate to him. If I told him he has some things of mine, I want them back, he's gonna try to take care, try to cut in on my profit or something. So I really don't want that. I'm just gonna be very frank with him. I'm gonna tell him that he stole something from me. He steals from all of us, doesn't he? Whether we're living or dead. That's interesting. It means he can relate to me. The fact that he is not friends with Pharod. I'm gonna pretend that I'm actually also vengeful towards Pharod, even though I'm not really Pharod's enemy. I mean, he is a very... We will figure out later what kind of person Pharod is, but he's not really exactly my kind of enemy. But I'm gonna pretend that he's my enemy with the Sharegrave. Alright, our main source of living around here is the dead. Alright, so he makes a living by collecting the dead. He's a collector, yes. And that's right. Now, there's only so many deaders at one time. My bloods and I can only gather so many. If someone else is gathering deaders, that's much less jink. So there's basically a competition.
Updated my journal.
Yeah, Pharod is his main competition here, and apparently he has found a motherload of dead bodies. So how did he? Yeah, there are no massacres in Sickles. So where could Pharod possibly be getting all these huge amounts of bodies? So I could find out for you for a price. I think he's the kind of guy who can give you he might accept a fair deal as long as it benefits him greatly. So I'm actually gonna find out for a price. Let's go for 100 copper coins. Alright, this should be fine. I'm not sure if we can actually demand more, but yeah, let's go with the 100 copper coins. That's fine.
Updated my journal.
Oh, okay. So go up with the platforms, follow on to the northwest. You've come to a gate that leads to Pharod's bolt hole. Getting information is your deal. Well, so he doesn't really... Alright, so we don't want to ask him anything more because he might actually get offended and everyone will kill us. I can actually easily kill this guy, by the way. He is not very strong and his collectors are incredibly weak. But
I'm gone.
Once we get back to him, we will receive a huge amount of experience if we complete that quest. So, yeah, we're just going to leave him for now. There's nothing more to do, I think. We're going to avoid Yellow Fingers. We will come back to him eventually when we have, I think, Anna at least. You know, Anna, the girl outside the mortuary who told us where to find Pharod, and she was totally lying. Yeah, she's gonna join us eventually. Let's go with her. Where is she? Yeah, she's right there. Anna. Once we acquire her, we will go ahead and do the quest for Yellow Fingers. This guy, yeah. And we'll be forced to remove Mort because actually Mort will interfere with the dialogue of Yellow Fingers. But we are gonna complete Marrow Friend. You can smell the reek of dung and rotting meat on this man, even from afar. Though obviously weak and decrepit, his long, thin fingers and sunken eyes give him a sinister look. Okay, I think he's the kind of person who eats dead people. Yeah, he eats dead meat. He's a cannibal of some kind. Yeah. You, deader. Alright, you can read the dialogue here. It's really amazing. The description here is very haunting, very creepy stuff. So yeah, my friend, he eats dead people. What did you say? You, deader. He thinks I'm a dead person. He's hungry. Let him touch you. Okay, so he is gonna... Yeah, he is gonna rip... He's gonna rip a piece off of your skin. He's actually gonna try and eat a piece of you. I'm not dead. You taste dead, and he is still hungry. Yeah, he has a finger hanging from his neck on a cord. Looks like there is a ring on it. This is why I came to this guy, because he has a really interesting ring there. I mean, you could read through the rest of the dialogue there. It's not really that interesting. But we're gonna go for what is that finger bone, because we are interested in that ring there. Don't eat that, have a bite of me instead. We can easily regenerate our health, by the way, so we can safely give him a piece of us. It's kind of scary if you think about it. If you were in the place of Nameless One, this is just ridiculously creepy stuff. He smiles and reaches for him. Give me the finger bone. Yes, give me the finger bone. Now we're gonna let him bite us. Alright, so we just fulfilled our promise, and he has a mouthful of meat taken from your forearm. This is ridiculous, man. Alright, thanks. And we lost a bit of health there. It's actually only 4 health. We don't lose that much, which is nice. Now we're gonna take a look at the this ring we acquired. Let's see. Alright, so we have a bunch of junk here. We want to sell them eventually as soon as we can. We're gonna just send those rings over to TacCon. He's gonna be our guy who handles all the junk, yeah, for now. Alright, the finger bone. This is a well-decayed and nearly meatless finger formed from a humanoid of roughly your size. I'm not sure if this is a male or female finger, but alright. Oddly enough, it seems firmly rooted to the finger, and it is really difficult to remove this ring from the finger. The ring appears to be biting on the finger or something. So how are we going to remove this ring and actually use it? This is a well-decayed. Okay, it's the same description. Pull the finger pull the ring from the finger. All right. Try as you might, you cannot remove it. It's almost as if the ring's sharp edges have dug into the lifeless finger itself. You have an odd feeling about it. Okay, we're gonna take a bit of a risk here. Actually, this is the only way to solve this problem. Remove your own finger, replace it with a finger bone, and prepare for a very brutal description of the situation. There you go. And the Nameless One, he basically bites down on his own finger and he spits it out, and he is overcome with the taste of smell and blood. And what he does is he places that dead finger over the stump, from the finger that he originally bought. Yeah. So he's basically removed his old finger and put this one in its place, and he is hoping for the best. He is hoping that the tendons reconnect. Yeah, this is what happens. A strange tingling sensation of bones as bones fuse and tendons reknit. Yeah, so apparently you not only have the ability to regenerate, but you can actually adapt. You can actually take... graft yourself with some more body parts if they are in the right place. So he just adopted this new finger. This is now his new finger, all right? And the jagged ring actually slips out of the new ring of the new finger, and yet there you have it. You have it. It's called Mempa's biting ring. The reason why it wouldn't leave the old finger is because it was cursed, and you can read there in the description. This is a really cool description, by the way. Whose powerful aura protects its bearer from bodily harm is one such item. Apparently Mempa, the person who made this, she was a mage who was very obsessed with the idea that she might lose her stuff or her stuff getting stolen from her. So everything was always attached to her body, and Mempa was one of those things. Her ring, it would just bite down on her finger and it would refuse to let go. I mean, yeah, that's actually a fairly... I mean, I don't know what to say about this. It's actually a very interesting situation. The person who's afraid to lose their stuff. So the side effect is that if we wear this ring, it's going to be cursed. We will never be able to remove it until we have this spell called Remove Curse, which I think is a level 3 or level 4 spell. I'm not really sure. But once we have it, it might actually be useful. And guess what? Once we use that ring, I think we lost even more health. Yeah. Once we use that finger thingy, yeah. So we lost a bit of health there just from biting our finger off, apparently, because we lost a lot of blood or something. Anyways, now that we have TacCon, actually, one more thing I want to do is, yeah, I think we've explored this area. There's not really much in that direction, so we're just gonna ignore the rest for now. There's this small room in here. We can go through it, and there's a bit of a small amount of combat involved, but we're not going to do that in this until we get Anna back with us from the buried village. So let's explore the rest of Sigil for the time being. We're going to do a couple of quests here and there. First of all,
I'm gone.
Pharod. Now this guy, he can train you to be a better fighter, I think, and we're most likely going to go for some edged weapons. I think we have a proficiency slot. Yes, we have 3 unused slots. We can improve our fist and edge weapons. These are going to be our main weapons for this game. Fist, because there is a really cool weapon we will gain when we reach the buried village, which is the place where Pharod actually lives. And yeah, it's a very cool weapon. And edged weapons, because most of the late game weapons are actually edged, especially since we are going to be playing a mage character. And mages, they don't usually use fist weapons very much, or indeed hammers and axes. They're not going to be using these kind of things. But you can use edged because they include daggers and small knife weapons and stuff like that. So this is going to be our main weapon proficiency, and we want to improve that. So we're actually going to talk to Pharod and try to help him. Every inch of this, the description behind this man is bizarre. I really don't understand it, or how he could possibly be animated, if an animation is possible. Every inch of this man's skin is covered in a web of black lines, as if some sort of artist chose to accentuate every crease in his flesh. Alright, the overall effect is that even when his face shows no expression, he appears to be frowning. Yet this man's body is covered with weird lines. So we're going to talk to him. And he has a very strange way of speaking. This one has a name. This one is called Pharod. The man's voice is like a gong as he speaks. He has a very booming, weird kind of metallic voice. This one would know. Why do you address this one? Alright, so he addresses himself with this one. And this one cannot answer your question. This one has only recently stepped foot in the space, so he's very new in Sigil. He has been a recent arrival here. I mean, he's kind of like me. We're both clueless. We don't know much about this weird city. But then again, I have been around here more than him, and I only lost my memory. So we're gonna have to ask you this: Why do those lines upon your face move? The lines show anger. Do you take offense? Okay, no offense was meant. No offense taken. Why are you angry? Alright, so he's a very strange person indeed. This one tells of recent event. Did you know this one was beset by 3? So he was attacked by 3 persons, and yeah. So apparently he has sworn an oath. Yeah, he was robbed by 3 burglars, I think 3 thieves or some kind of thugs, and he refused to fight them back. So what? Yeah, and even though he claims to be a very powerful warrior, and he could easily have beaten them back. Yeah, this one walks the path of a warrior. Many weapons have walked with him, and the fist, the blade, the stave, and all kinds of weapons. Alright, that's not much of an explanation. If you're a warrior, you're supposed to be capable of killing them. Why did you not kill them? Okay, so apparently he has an oath of non-violence, which is kind of ironic. I mean, he's supposed to be a warrior, so if you have a vow of non-violence, how come you're still a warrior? What is this pacifist? He doesn't know what this pacifist means. Alright, so... So right, why did you train so much if you're not permitted to attack another? Okay, so he's apparently part of an order, the Order of Erit Age, or whatever this is. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this thing, whatever it is, but apparently he's part of a cult that is, alright, so apparently they're gonna be called to battle at some point in the future, and his cult has sworn an oath of peace until that happens. So is of great value. So yeah, he's not gonna fight because he's very committed to that religion called thingy. Alright, I'll go see if I can get the item back. And he's gonna ask, would you bring violence to the 3 that have robbed you? Alright, so if they're not smart enough to hand it over while I ask, things could get ugly. Alright, that's fairly standard procedure there. What is the item that you've lost? He has lost his prayer beads. Alright, so they're not measured in copper, the worth is measured in faith. Okay, so apparently they hold very significant ritualistic value for him, and we're gonna go after these beads eventually. I know exactly where to find them, by the way, but we're just gonna postpone that until we explore this region. Let's see, what can we do? Okay, so before we leave this region, there's one person we absolutely need to talk to. Mar. He's gonna give us a weird box. There we go. It's kind of a strange situation. He is surrounded by these limbs. I want to show you what these are, by the way. These are small beasts. Limb. yeah, these weird insectoid creatures, pig insect, whatever they are. You can read the description if they want, if you want. We found a bunch of them dead right next to this guy. There you go. There's 3 of them. You can actually buy one of these, but not really. That's not very important. All right. Oh, by the way, we have used this biting ring. You will notice that our armor class has dropped down to 6, which is good. That's actually a good thing. It means we are now more difficult to hit thanks to this weapon. You see there, +2 to armor class. So yeah, it's actually a good ring. It's actually one of the better rings out there, except for the fact that it is cursed, and we might have to replace it eventually. Anyways, so let's talk to Mar. He wants us to get closer to him, I think. Your first impression of Mar is that he needs a long bath, preferably away from any creatures. So apparently he has really smelly and yeah, he's a very smelly, dirty person, and he's kind of paranoid. So we're gonna approach him and hear what he has to say. Thank you for stopping. My name is Mar, and I've a favor to ask you. We're listening. It is a matter of life and death. I must deliver this box. So he has a box to deliver, and he's kind of worried about it. I will deliver the box for you. Okay, for the briefest of moments, you see a look of regret cross his face. I think he is kind of... I think he's feeling guilty about giving me this box, because, believe me, this box is a terrible thing. Yeah, okay, so he's gonna tell you that do not open the box and leave the hive, but don't leave it without... leave the hive. So if you want to leave Sigil, do not leave Sigil without with the box in you. So I think it means that...
my journal.
And he actually ran away. Okay, so it means that apparently this box here... Okay, this box is part of a long quest line. You can fulfill the quest line if you want, and the results are kind of weird. I mean, you could open the box yourself and deal with whatever is inside, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm actually gonna carry this box along with me and finish this quest. But for now, I think we're actually just gonna keep him. I'm not gonna fulfill the quest line of the box until we get Anna with us, because I want her to gain a bunch of experience as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep this box around with us for now. How heavy is this? It's actually not very heavy either. You can read the description if you want. Feelings of dread seem to emanate from the box. There's a curse inside. There's some kind of curse. I know exactly what's inside, but I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna leave it there. Actually, let's give it to Mort, because he has all the key items. Yeah, Mort is gonna carry all the quest items and unique stuff. I really want to throw these away at some point because they occupy way too much space. I think there's a way for us to store it, perhaps inside the... there's an inn, by the way. This is an inn. Yeah, the flop house. And you can actually... Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna go in there, because there's a quest line involved here. You can actually sleep here for free if you complete a quest line. So we're gonna talk to Arlo, who is the innkeeper. You see a short, baldy man standing in what serves as the foyer to this ramshackle flop house. Alright, so a very brief description with the guy. And his hygiene is not very good, apparently. Alright, so we could rest here, or we could ask him some question, and he's not very interested. Alright, so he basically is not going to deal with us in any form of dialogue. He's just going to give us a bed. Alright, nobody puts... okay, so he just told us about Nestor, who is the guy in the corner there, and we're gonna ask him about Nestor, because if we solve this Nestor problem, this guy, he's actually Arlo is gonna let us sleep here for free, which is interesting, which is kind of convenient, I suppose. Nestor's that balmy old sod. Balmy is crazy, by the way, and he hikes a thumb over his shoulder toward the back of the room. Watch your step around him. Apparently, he's kind of crazy, that guy. So why don't you get rid of him yourself? Okay, so he tried, and he nearly bit his nose off. Okay, I could get rid of him for you, and if you do that, you can stay here for free as often as you like. Fair enough.
Updated my journal.
All right, we've updated our journal. We can now fulfill this quest. Let's go and talk to Nestor. You see an aging man in his soiled and tattered clothes, frantically pacing in the corner. Every few seconds he stops pacing and flails about, suddenly muttering and cursing as if assaulted by some unseen foe. He appears to be hallucinating, or mentally ill, to say the least. It's not you, but soon, yes, soon. Okay, so he's kind of an... yeah, I'm not even going to try to explain what this guy is going through. He's obviously a bit crazy. Alright, are you the one they call Nestor? Yes. Yes, you'll come, and old Nestor will be waiting. Alright, What are you waiting for? Waiting, yes. Long have I waited. Wait forever if I have to. Do you hear me? Okay, so who's he talking to? I'm actually gonna try to solve his problem. My fork! Can't leave with my fork! Hoo-hoo! Fork! Alright. What's your fork? What's the problem with your fork? Fork. Can't go home without my fork. Alright, so he is looking for his fork, and apparently he can't buy another fork or something. But gone, stolen, can't go home without my fork. There's actually going to be a bit of a surprise concerning his fork there, and he is trying to walk through this cupboard over there, and he can't. He just keeps smashing into it, and nothing happens. So yeah. I know what's going to happen, but it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to leave it for you to find out. Alright, so we're going to try and find his fork back. If I can find your fork, will you leave? He's actually going to use the fork to leave, and it's going to be a surprise, you guys. I'm just wait for it. Until you bring it back, then I can go home. Alright, I'm going to try and find your fork there.
Alright.
This quest is actually a lot easier than you think.
I'm gone.
Alright, so there's another dead limb there. Look at that. There's another dead little insect dude. So the guy who has the fork is, yeah, he's here. One ear.
This is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
Alright, so Mort is a bit apprehensive about this part of the city. You see a shady-looking fellow standing before you. I can actually barely see him, and for those of you watching the recording, I'm really sorry to be recording it during nighttime of Sigil. I might actually want to advance time a little bit, because it's going to be very dark. I can see things perfectly, but for some reason, whenever I upload it to YouTube, it's really dark. I can't really explain it. I could increase the gamma or something. I don't know. There's some lighting options you can increase, I suppose. Actually, I can increase the lighting right now. Yeah, this is actually the maximum lighting for for my laptop. Alright, so this guy is missing one ear, and he has a long knife by his side. He's kind of dangerous, actually. What's the matter? Your other ear not working? No, I don't want to offend this guy. So, okay. He's a tiefling. He's actually a half-demon. Interesting. He calls at you threateningly. Pike off, or I'll have your guts for garters. Alright, how did you lose that ear? Okay, so I think you lost it while robbing an old man in the hive. Yeah, alright. Ah, I see. This is the guy who actually took the fork from Nestor. So just give me the fork, and we'll be off on our way. We had the flash of movement. He too quick to follow. He whips his knife from his sheath and begins waving it menacingly before you. Why don't you come and take it? Oh, okay. So he's not convinced. Okay, this guy's actually dangerous, and he moves really fast. We're gonna try to avoid him a little bit. Let's just use Mort's ability. And there you go. Now he's going to be much easier to kill. Actually, he's avoiding our attacks quite well. I am impressed. Call me impressed. Alright. And he only gave us like 65 experience when we killed him. That is not very impressive. I think whoever killed him should probably gain the strongest creature killed. You can see one ear there at some point. I think it's Nameless One. Alright, so apparently he was not the strongest creature we have ever killed, because he is not listed on anyone's strongest creature killed. In fact, the strongest creature Mort ever killed is a zombie worker, which I find very doubtful, because a zombie worker is not that strong. Anyways, we killed one ear, and we can take the Claw Charm. The high quality stiletto, not very impressive, but we're gonna take it. And finally, the fork. This is without a doubt Nestor's fork. It deals 1 to 2 piercing damage. It's kind of interesting. You can use this thing as a weapon, apparently. Alright. I wonder if it will affect the visuals. Oh no, apparently it has the same visual effect as a knife. So yeah, you're equipped with a fork. You can fight with a freaking fork, man, and you're still carrying a knife in the visual representation there. Great. Alright, we're gonna drop the fork there. So we want to compare this with the high quality stilettos. This one has 1 to 4 piercing damage, while the green steel knife 1 to 4, but slightly better speed, I guess. I'm not sure. Speed is 1 here, but speed is also 1 here. Interesting. You know what? We're gonna keep the green steel alive because it's a much more efficient weapon. If you read from the description there, green steel is more powerful than usual steel, and it was made in Beator, which is like the hell of this world. Avernus, Yeah, apparently this is the hell world of Planescape Torment universe. If you go to hell, you're actually going to Avernus, I think.
I don't trust
Or the
kids.
Abyss, either one of them.
Guess they could leave it behind.
They're both equally terrifying, by the way. And you will end up in Beator eventually, by the way. It's one of those quest areas. Anyways, we're gonna go to Nestor. We're gonna try to solve this problem. There we go. Is this the fork you speak of? Yes. Now I can go home. He's actually gonna use this fork. Let's see. How exactly is he gonna use this fork? He hops up and down excitedly, waving the fork back and forth in an elaborate pattern above his head, as if he were performing some sort of ritual. Now I can go home. Farewell. Hoo-hoo. All right. Off you go. Nestor turns to leave, then as if struck with some afterthought, he turns back around and hands you a scrap of something soft and rubbery, the severed ear. Oh, so he actually gave us the ear that he bit off from Mr. One Ear, the guy we killed earlier. Upon further examination, you notice that there's still an earring still dangling from it, so we can actually take that earring. Alright, pocket the earring and discard the rotting piece of ear.
Updated my journal.
You saw that? You saw that effect? That was a portal. So yeah, this is the idea. This is one of those portals, and apparently the fork that Nestor has was a portal key. It was a key, and he used it to get back home.
Alright.
What an interesting scenario. Alright, we're gonna talk to Arlo there. So Nestor's gone home, eh? Maybe the old sod wasn't so balmy after all. Yeah, he was acting crazy and waving the fork around because that's what it takes to open that portal, apparently. Alright.
My journal.
We can get a fair bit of experience there. It's around 500 experience, I suppose. Alright, so now we can rest here for free. We're gonna do that because it's actually nighttime outside, which is kind of annoying. We're gonna move up to daytime so you can see things a little bit more clearly. There we go. We rested for 8 hours, we have recovered our health, and everything is just fine. We could talk to this guy, the Barrier. He's not gonna say anything interesting, by the way, and these characters are generally not very interesting. Even though they look interesting, but they're not. They don't have no... Yeah, this one is actually standing still, and it is sleeping while standing still. How about that? How interesting is that? Alright, we're gonna leave this place. Nothing to do here, folks. Is there anything we want to do?
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna postpone talking to these guys for now. There's actually Fleece, who is an interesting fellow.
Done.
But we're not gonna talk to him now because there is when you become a thief, there's something you can do with him. So we're gonna ignore him for the time being, and we're being attacked by these thugs. Ooh, lovely, that's just amazing. Yeah, let's just finish them off. And we couldn't even use this ability on them. Let's gonna try it again. There you go. And we're gonna use the Rain of Anger against them. Yes, let's use the Rain of Anger. We can actually use the Chromatic Orb as well. Alright, so we just got damage. All of you, attack this thug. Alright, so we killed one of them. We're gonna have a lot more of these, by the way. I'm gonna try to attack him with another Chromatic Orb. Just snipe him from a distance. It's not gonna kill him. Alright, so we did. Actually, we managed to kill him. He only had 7 health points. We dealt 7 hit damage to him and we killed him immediately. How about that? Alright.
I'm gone.
I feel like the music, the battle music is a little bit too loud. I'm actually gonna lower the music even more. Slightly less. Alright. Return to the game. Yeah, the music balance is just not very well. So the battle music is way too loud, I think. I think we have talked to everyone in this region. Everyone worth talking to at this point in time. What we can do from this point forward is just, fulfill a couple of quests here and there and to try not to spoil them all. I want to keep the majority of them until we can get Anna back. Because Anna, by the way, when she joins you, she has very low level. Where is she? She has very low level when she gets to join us. So I want her to level up as fast as possible because she's actually very weak at the start of the game. But eventually, if you level her up fast enough, she becomes a very powerful DPS character. She has a very large amount of damage, and she becomes more useful eventually. Alright, so there's a lot of things you can do here. I think there's this bunch of merchants. We could try to buy a couple of stuff from them. Yeah, let's buy from this guy. Let's see here. We can actually steal if we want. I'm not sure if he has anything worth stealing. I mean, we could steal some weapons. but we don't really need those weapons. They're not as powerful. In fact, I can't even equip them. You see, the color is red, indicating that we can't actually equip these. You can only equip them if you are a warrior. And check it out, these are actually very poor quality stuff. They have very high weight, very low speed. The high number, by the way, indicates that its speed is very low. So yeah, this is no more than a heavy lump of metal on the end of a stout stick. There's poor balance and it's very ungraceful. So this is a very terrible piece of hammer. And yeah, these are all poor quality stuff. We're gonna ignore these. If we want to buy any weapon whatsoever, it's probably going to be one of these. The dagger actually is pretty good. It deals 2 to 5 piercing, and it has very high speed, as expressed by this low number. And the proficiency is edged, so we might actually want to use this thing. But you know, for now, we're just going to keep the green steel knife. We'll get much better weapons than the green steel dagger eventually, and I don't want to waste my money. We can buy the high quality sledgehammer, which is one of the most damaging early weapons. It deals the highest damage at this point in the game, which is 10. Although 10 damage is rare, especially if we have very low strength. So it looks like we're not going to buy anything from this guy. Let's try this guy instead. If you ask them questions, they're just going to beat around the bush. They're not going to... Yeah, this guy in particular is going to try to anger you, try to ignore you, sorry, and... Yes, he's basically just here to trade. He has nothing more interesting to say. Yeah, he has these magical items, including the claw charms, the blood charms. The blood charm is amazing. It heals 18 hit points, more than any... Actually, the heart charm heals even more, 27 points. And it will increase your resistance to slashing and piercing and reduce fatigue and stuff. So it's actually cool. But the blood charm is my absolute favorite. Eventually, in the late game, when we have a lot of gold to spare, we're going to be using the blood charm here. After a bit of grinding, we're going to buy a bunch of these because they are just pure healing machines once you acquire them. They're actually more useful than the cloth charm. I mean, during battle, it's useful to use a cloth charm sometimes. I mean, because it will increase your resistance to certain things. But first of all, it's much more expensive. And yeah, the blood charm is actually less expensive than the heart and the cloth charm, so, and it heals more. So if you want just pure healing and that's it, the blood charm is the way to go, and we're gonna buy a lot of them eventually. The dirty rat charm is useful for, yeah, plus 10% stealth skill and pickpocket. We're actually gonna use this eventually when we want to steal things from the merchants. When we become a thief, yeah, you can become a thief and you can start stealing things. Right now we can't steal anything because we're not a thief, we're a mage. But yeah, before you steal anything, you might want to equip or at least use a bunch of these. Just you get their effects. You're going to lose a bit of charisma, but it doesn't matter. You're a thief. So yeah, we're not going to use that for dialogue or something. The only thing we can steal from this guy is the score of luck, which is kind of useful, I guess. If you want to, you can use it before stealing stuff, because a high amount of luck, I think, will make you a little bit more successful when trying to steal things. The blur is kind of useful for combat, I suppose, but I don't really use it much because I'm not much of a combat mage anyway. Okay, so we can actually ask him to identify our stuff, and there is nothing for that he can identify for some reason. It's kind of weird. I was thinking he could identify the triangle earring. Oh, we can actually use a spell. Alright, so this is a good opportunity to demonstrate the ability of the identify spell. There you go. You see that? Identify. Well, we learned it and then we slept. So now we have it in our spell book and we can use it on the triangle earring. Done. This is the rule of 3 earring. Okay, so you can read the description if you want. There's actually only 1 page of it. And what we can do is we can use it 3 times, and every time we use it, we will gain 33 coppers. So this is basically it will give us 99 gold, I think. Yeah. So I predict we will have like 318 gold or something. Let's give it a try. All right. So we just increased by 33. We were at 209, and we're 242. We're going to use it again, and again. Yes, 308. I predicted 318. I miscalculated. It's 308. That's it. 1 earring. Let's check this one out. This is the earring that we gained from Nestor. This is the one that was attached to his to the ear of what's that guy called? One Ear, yeah. Okay, so this one will give you plus 10% stealth skill bonus. We're not really going to use this because we're not going to be playing a stealthy game. We're just going to go over to our enemies and just beat their faces and cast a bunch of spells on them. That's going to be our style. But late in the game, you could use it to sneak past. When you're playing solo, I think there's a section in the late game where you'll be playing solo with the Nameless One, and you can sneak past your enemies with this. But we're not going to use it. I'm not sure if it has any significance with stealing things from merchants or not. I'm not really sure about this. But we're going to keep it anyway because I will give it to Anna eventually. Anna is a thief and she can use that item. Alright. We're going to give this tome to Mort for now. And the keys. Yeah, all these quest items are going to go there. There you go. And you saw that small bit of magic animation. It indicates that we just used the item. We could buy a Lim, I think. It's not going to be very useful at this point of the game. We can buy it from this guy here, this merchant, but we don't really need them, so we're just going to ignore this. What else? Giskerl, the guy we got the clothes from. There's the hive merchant who sells you fruits and things. We could try a couple of stuff from him, but yeah, we're just basically wasting your money. Yeah, he has some... you can ask him about these things, the tastes of these things, but he's not going to give you any very useful answers. I think the fire seeds. Alright, so yeah, the fire seeds are probably the most interesting. You put them in your mouth, they catch fire inside your mouth, and they have a very sweet, spicy taste. It's really cool, actually. I wish something like that existed. I think it does. These crackle stone stuff that you get from these stores. Yeah, the stone candies and whatever. It has a similar concept. So brass can skip. Now that we're here, I just want to point out that yeah, remember, deliver the box to Kuatara. Yeah, the box that we got from Mar, this one. Yeah, we're supposed to deliver it to a guy named Kuatara, and I think his house is somewhere in the west or something. But eventually, the quest line of the box will take us to this guy, Braskin, inside his house here. So yeah, it's worth to keep a mental note of this guy. And finally, we have Crier of Esanon here. Let's talk to this guy. He is crying. Streams of tears have carved channels down his man's dust-covered face, and he is crying so severely that apparently, yeah, all those tears are caked all over his face, and he's just he's rolling his head back and forth. It looks like some kind of ritual. Okay. The man stops his frenzied chanting, glares at you with his tear-rimmed eyes. The poor guy. Why is he crying? Let's see. I am a crier of Esanon. Okay, so what exactly is Esanon?
Dated my journal.
Yeah, he appears to be disappointed by that question. Who is Esanon? The man throws back his head and gives a rasping laugh. It sounds brutal and defeated. Esanon, it is not a man, but a city. So why do you cry for a city? Because Esanon apparently is a very powerful or amazing city. It used to exist, but because its tape is all that remains, it now is destroyed. It was laid waste and reduced to memory. Only 70 of its people survived, and it is their duty to make sure that this city is remembered. So if it places you and the others at risk, why don't you stop? The tears I shed and the dust that cloaks me, these things are as nothing compared to what awaits should I give up my sacred burden. So apparently it was a very great holy city that was destroyed, and I really feel sorry for this guy. I might actually want to help him. Is there a way I could help you? You are kind to ask. Unless you can immortalize Esanon, there is no help to be had. Must it be immortalized by a man? Would a tombstone serve? Yes, it's a tombstone that records a man's name, his life, and a eulogy. If it serves a man, it could also serve a city. Alright, so yeah. Excellent, so this is going to be a very small, interesting quest. Long after you have died. Perfect. Alright, we're going to go for the good alignment here. We're not going to ask for payment. We're just going to be a good, plain old good person. And we're going to go for the, yes, alignment change. That's it. We are now neutral good. Yes. We've reached the good. It's very easy. Lawful is going to be more difficult. We're supposed to be doing some lawful things. I'm not sure how to do that, to be honest. Because we keep doing these unlawful things every now and then.